What's up, everybody? Derek Anderson, the DA. All right, check it out. Another day, another Hollywood race swap. This is on Bounding in the Comics. James Gunn race swaps Perry White for the upcoming Superman cast Wendell Pierce as the Daily Planet boss. All right, so how do I feel about race swaps? You guys already know. I haven't changed my mind, never will. All right, race swaps are lazy. Race swaps are insulting. Race swaps are stupid. I don't care who the creator is. I don't care if it's James Gunn doing it or somebody else. I don't care who the actor is. All right. Wendell Pierce. Love Wendell Pierce. Wendell Pierce is a phenomenal actor. Loved him in Jack Ryan. Don't care. He is not Perry White. You know how I feel when it comes to adapting any material. Get as close to the original as humanly possible. All right. Plenty of actors out there that could have played Perry White. Wendell Pierce wasn't your last and only choice. You know, so get an actor that absolutely can play the part of Perry White. If you want to work with Wendell Pierce, and again, I've said this in the past, you want to work with Wendell Pierce, create a role for him. You know, James Gunn wants to work with Wendell Pierce. He's like, yo, man, I would love to work with Wendell Pierce. Wendell Pierce is an amazing actor. I wonder how we could get him into this Superman movie somehow. Create a role for him. That's all you got to do. And don't tell me, oh, well, you know, you just can't create characters out of whole cloth, DA. You can't just create a character and pop him into a movie like Superman into this big DC universe. You can't just create a character and watch him take off and become amazing and all of that. You can't just do that. Then y'all going to have to explain this guy. Explain Agent Coulson to me. If you're saying that this can't happen, don't be getting in the comments talking shit. Explain Agent Coulson. Because look, this character never existed in a Marvel anything until Iron Man 1. Until that first Iron Man movie, this character never existed. And then he ends up getting his own spin-off series. He becomes one of the more popular characters in the Marvel Cinematic Universe. This guy, Agent Coulson, created from scratch, okay? And then not only that, they allow Clark Gregg to come in every year when they were doing Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. They bringing this guy in and say, hey, Clark, sit down, grab some tea and some muffins. And, you know, let's talk about the character. Where do you think, you know, about this character? Where is his, you know, story going this year in Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., you know? And they get feedback from him about his own character. They allowed this guy to participate in the creative process. And like, why can't they do that for Wendell Pierce? You know, or any other black actor that they want to give out there. Why can't they do that? Marvel did it. So don't give me this crap that you can't, you know, nah. Create a new character if you want to work with this guy that bad, okay? If it's so important to have Wendell Pierce in your movie, don't race swap him. That's lazy, that's stupid, that's insulting. You know, that's the first problem that I have with it. But the second problem is, and I've mentioned this before, and I'll continue to mention this, it never works in the other direction. All right. They will never do this thing where they take this black character and race swap them into a white character. That will never happen. All right. I want y'all to imagine just for a moment. Imagine they race swapped Storm. I want y'all to just sit back and imagine the amount of outrage that would come if they race swapped Storm. Well, Storm's a major character in this. No. Race swap. If they race swap Storm and they said, yo, we got to put a white person in this character role, everybody would lose their collective minds. Okay? I would as well. I would say, what kind of bullshit is this? And it would have nothing to do with the fact that, well, you know, she's a black actress and I'm a black guy. You got to, no. It's keep it original, as close to the original as humanly possible. That's all it's about. You're doing an adaptation. Okay? So you have all kinds of room to create and do your own thing. You know, that's the thing that kind of frustrates me. And again, that's why I say go and create original characters. Right. But you have room to like do some creativity. This is not creative. You know, if you decided to race swap Storm, this is not creative at all. It's the worst thing you can do. And what would you hear? You would hear all of the people screaming about whitewashing. They'll scream about whitewashing. But, you know, when they see this, oh, yeah, this is OK. You know, Wendell Pierce, Perry White, no problem. You know, so, yeah, let's go ahead and check this article out. And there it is. In bringing an end to his comic-accurate casting plans for Superman already extensive cast, James Gunn has officially chosen the Wire star Wendell Pierce as the next actor to portray the Daily Planet's tough but lovable editor-in-chief Perry White on the silver screen. News of Pierce's casting in the newly renamed film was first broken on March 1st, courtesy of an exclusive published by The Hollywood Reporter's Boris Kitt. with his attachment to the role. Gunn's upcoming first entry in DC's new cinematic universe has officially rounded out the Daily Planet's main news team, which also includes Skylar Gisando's Jimmy Olsen, Rachel Brosnahan's Lois Lane, and, of course, David Corenswet's Clark Kent. Yeah, I mean, we all thought Jimmy Olsen was going to be the guy, right? We were all expecting that. It's like, yeah, they're going to race swap Jimmy Olsen, but they didn't. They left him as just little sandy-haired, brown-haired, red-haired, whatever, freckled, white guy. We were all like, oh, my God, But then, of course, they're going to do, Perry. And I guess because Perry White's been race swapped before, with Larry Fishburne, they did the race swap there. All right, it's cool. We can go ahead and do that. No big deal. Unfortunately for fans, while an appearance by Pierce in a project would normally be something to celebrate, given his incredible acting talents, this sentiment is undercut in this instance by the fact that his casting stands as yet another instance of lazy Hollywood race swapping. Yeah, 100%, man. I just don't understand why they can't just say, yo, we're going to create a role for an actor. There's a lot of other roles that'll be in Superman that, aren't traditionally normal characters. You could have him be like a rival reporter or something, I mean, yeah, he just got hired on to the Daily Planet and he's challenging these cats, or maybe he's like the head of a rival to the Daily Planet. You could create something there and, and he's battling back and forth with Perry White. And then maybe he just grows out of that role. You never know what will happen if you take a good actor and you create something for them. And then, like I said, even with Clark Gregg, bring him into the creative process and let him talk about the role and what he thinks this character can be. You got a guy like Wendell Pierce with a ton of acting credit, a ton of experience. Let them be a part of that. That's part of the creative process anyway, allowing actors to kind of have feedback into the roles or whatever. And I'm sure he'll do that for Perry White. But why not give him his own role so he doesn't have to look to his left, look to his right, look in the past and see, okay, what if all these other Perry Whites have been like? No. Create, okay? Create something for Wendell Pierce. Create a role that he can dig into, that he can participate in the creation of. He doesn't have to worry about what other Perry Whites have done in the past. Nope, I'm doing my own thing. Create that for this actor if you respect him that much. That's how I look at it. Yeah, some actors, obviously, we're going to have our Superman, we're going to have our Lois Lane, this, and we'll cast those roles appropriately. But if you got a guy that you want to work with and it's like, yo, he really doesn't fit into any of the roles, if we're going to be traditional about it, if we're going to try to get as close to the original as humanly possible, he really doesn't fit within a role of a Perry White. Okay, then we're going to have to create something for him because I want to work with this guy. That's how I look at it. These guys, these creative geniuses out there in Hollywood that is making tons and tons of bread, they got to do stupid stuff like this, all right? They got to race swap instead of creating. Again, Agent Coulson proves that it can be done, and it can be done successfully to the point where Agent Coulson is now a staple in the Marvel Cinematic Universe. He's not just a throwaway character that people forget about. And, again, they could do stuff like that with black actors if they had a creative mindset when it came to that. And I'm not saying James Gunn doesn't, but this isn't demonstrating that whatsoever. A lazy race swap? Come on, bro. You better than that. Give us something better than this, Hollywood. People are getting tired of this. It's pandering crap. And like I said, if you did it in the other direction, okay, if you took a black character and race swapped them into a white character, you would hear all of this outrage about what? Whitewashing. Like we saw with this movie. Yeah, y'all remember this? Ghost in the Shell, Scarlett Johansson playing the Major. Everybody was up in arms. Well, I was one of them. I'm like, hey, this is clearly not a Japanese woman, okay? So cast a Japanese actress to play this role. That would have been much, much better. Now, in truth, maybe Ghost in the Shell doesn't even get off the ground unless Scarlett Johansson is attached. I don't know. But the reality is, again, we saw the outrage when it came to this. It was whitewashing. Everybody was talking about it. There was articles being written. People were outraged, and rightfully so. Okay, rightfully so. But again, going back to Wendell Pierce, I think you just got to stop the race swaps, folks. You just got to stop it. Find a character, create a character and say, yo, you know what? I just created this character. I think Wendell Pierce would be a great fit for this character. I think it would be amazing to see Wendell Pierce. He has the gravitas. He has the acting ability. I would love to see this guy play this character. That's how you do it. Okay, that's how you do it. And now you have the representation that you're looking for. You're not stomping and stepping all over the lore and the canon. You know, you're not doing some pandering bullshit, but you're actually creating something. And now maybe this character you just created will catch on. And then in future iterations of Superman, hey, let's bring in this other character. And, you know, yeah, now we got a black guy that can play, or a black character that can be in part of this universe. And look what we created. You know, that's what creatives used to do instead of just lazy race swap bullshit. You know, this is absolutely annoying. I'm never going to change my mind about this. All right. Until the day I die. This is trash. I don't like it. I don't care who the actor is. I don't care who the creative is. I love Superman. I'm looking forward to this, but this is trash. Okay. This is trash. You know, two things can be true at the same time. This is absolute trash. And I'm sorry that Wendell Pierce is probably going to get caught up in it. But nevertheless, you know, he accepted the role. If I was him, I wouldn't have accepted the role. No, thank you. You know, I'm good. Yeah, create something for me, Jim, or James Gunn, Jimmy Gunn. You know, create something for me. Let's sit down. Let's talk. Let's chop it up. Let's see if we can come up with a role I can play that isn't some lazy ass race swap. Anyway, folks, that's it for me. You guys let me know what you think about this situation. Are you happy with this casting? Do you think this is a good idea, bad idea? What do you think about the race swaps? You guys let me know in the comments below. And thanks for watching. See you next time.